Hello everyone! Today in this advanced tutorial I will be going over the Opponent tab where you will edit the enemy in your game. This tab resembles the Player tab in several ways, so do not be surprised if much of this information seems a bit repetitive. So, let's get started. To start us off, I will discuss the Opponent avatar. You will want to choose the Opponent avatar you will want your main character to be battling for the game. I chose Ants at a Picnic. I decided to use an ant. To search for your own opponent avatar, you will click the blue Select Avatar button and look through Polado's library for an avatar you would like to use in your game. If unfortunately Polado does not have an avatar you are looking for, then you can upload your own by going to the Upload tab as you see here. And to learn more about how to upload your own avatar, just go to our tutorial on it and it'll tell you all about it step by step. Once you have chosen your avatar, you can start controlling the movement of your opponent avatar. You can start doing this by selecting the type of movement from the drop-down box that you would like to assign to the opponent in your game. These movements include movement from left to right, where the opponent spawns to the left and right side of the screen. The left opponents move right in a straight line, and the right opponents move in a straight line, and both opponents fire downwards. Falling, opponents' characters spawn on the top of the screen and move in a straight line down on the screen. The opponents fire downward. Move down and back and forth. Opponent characters spawn at the start of the level in a matrix of rows and columns on the screen. All of the opponent characters move together back and forth across the screen. When they reach the edge of the screen, they will move down a bit and then move back to the other direction. As the player kills the opponent characters, the remaining opponent matrices will move faster. Stationary matrix. The opponent characters spawn at the start of the level in a matrix of rows and columns on the screen. The opponent characters do not move. Chase player. Opponent characters spawn anywhere on the edges of the screen, and they move and fire directly towards the player character. Random movement and face forward. Opponent characters spawn anywhere on the edges of the screen and randomly move around the screen. The opponent characters will fire in the direction they are moving. Random movement and face down. Opponent characters spawn anywhere on the edges of the screen and randomly move around the screen. The opponent characters always face and fire downwards. Snake. The opponent characters spawn in a snake-like unit which moves back and forth through the screen. The snake turns around and moves back the other direction when it encounters an obstacle. Move left. Opponent characters spawn on the right of the screen. They face and fire and move left. You can also control how fast your opponent avatar will move around the screen by manipulating the movement speed bar. The more left you move the speed bar, the slower it will go, and the more to the right you move it, the faster your opponent character will move. The starting enemy bar gives you the ability to control how many opponent characters spawn at the beginning of a level. Do note that this should be set at 1 for most game types. Also, you should know if you check this enemy fire box that the enemies will shoot at your player. This advanced section of the Opponent tab is a bit different than the one we went over in the Player tab tutorial. In the Advanced section, you can customize the options for the opponent which do not normally need to be changed in a basic game. Reason being why this blue plus sign is by the Advanced section, because if you, being the game creator, feels you do not need to use these advanced options, you can minimize the section to get it out of your way. But, because this is an advanced tutorial, I will go over this section in depth. The spawn delay gives you the ability to control how long until another opponent avatar spawns. The number below are milliseconds, so if you move the bar to the right, the longer it will be until your avatar spawns. And if you move it more to the left, it'll be faster until another one spawns. You can also use this drop-down box you see here to select the type of avatar or graphic you would like your opponent to use. You could choose 1 per clip, which is your normal graphic being used animating and looping normally, or you can choose multiple per clip, where a SWF can be used which will animate and loop normally. The scale allows you to scale the opponent avatar graphic between 0% and 200%. When you set the scale to 0%, there is absolutely no scale, and this is the default your game will start with. You can move the scale up. 100% is normal scale, 200% is double scale, and 50% is half scale. You can rotate the player avatar graphic at runtime. You can apply a rotation of 90, 180, or 270 degrees. This flip bar allows you to flip the player graphic at runtime. This can be used with the rotate option to correctly orient a graphic so that it doesn't look funky on screen, but instead looks correct. Much like you selected an opponent avatar graphic, you can choose explosion and weapon graphics by clicking the blue links, searching through the Pilato library, and selecting the graphic that best suits your game. The explosion graphic is played when the opponent player avatar is destroyed. You can also choose an explosion sound, which allows you to customize the sound that is played when the opponent player is destroyed. You choose a sound much like choosing a graphic. Just click this blue link and search through Pilato's library to find the best fitting explosion sound for your avatar. The spawn boundaries are set at default 0 right now, so that you can manipulate your boundaries. Move the right and down bars all the way to the right, as seen here. Once you have done this, you can begin manipulating the boundaries in which your opponent avatar will spawn from. So if I wanted my avatars to only spawn in the middle, I could move my bottom in the middle and also my top in the middle, and it'd only be able to spawn in a certain area of the screen. And that's all that these spawn bars do. It makes it so you can choose where your avatars spawn from. The last two sections I'm going to go over are the weapons, and I'm only going to go over weapon 1 because all of the characteristics that this one has are the same right here. So if you know what to do on weapon 1, you should know what to do on weapon 2. So to start, you can choose the type of weapon which will control the effect the primary weapon will have. You can select from this drop-down box the type of effect you want your weapon to have. These being bullets, bombs, missiles, balls, swords, fireballs, lasers, phasers, and you could just leave it at custom if you wanted to. You can also select a graphic and sound for your weapon, which I've already shown you how to do throughout this previous sections. With the rate of fire, you can control the speed the primary weapon will fire, plus the obstacles being slow and the right side being fast. You can also control the projectile velocity of the primary weapon by changing this bar. So, now that we're done, you should know how to use your enemy editing tab. I hope that you better understand. Keep watching for more advanced tutorials. Have a good day.